September 2019. Dear self, it's me. Lately, I've been feeling challenged by everything. Work, my personal life, and even just writing this has become a burden. I think I'm suffocating, but I'm not sure. All I wanted was to make adulting and this job work, but that resulted in me suppressing my voice and strength in the midst of the battle. Dennis, I just want to know why. Why would you rather surrender your being than follow your heart? Why would you forfeit your God-given talents and living in the season for second-hand gold? Why would you build a home on shaky, unnecessary, and sabotaging triggers? I know adulting and work is hectic, but I trust you've tried everything to make this work. I need you to know you're not the problem. I need you to give yourself a little bit more grace. I need you to put God back in focus and enjoy the life you've been given. Flaws, challenges, talents, dimples, and all. Believe me when I say you are doing just fine. You are entirely too hard on yourself. Your aspirations are important, but it doesn't have to be so serious. Relax. Don't waste the wait. As always, your better half. Yo, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Defining. My name is Dennis Ngango, formerly known as Hot Boy Denny, and today we're going to be having a bit more of a DMC with regards to how and why I quit my job. Now, I'm not sure if you remember, but back in October, I made a video about my post-grad depression. And in that video, I said I'll be moving away from engineering just a bit. Funny thing about that is that I had actually resigned and no one at work had known just as yet. So in this video, I really want to come back, continue that conversation, and just let you guys know what has been happening since then, why I decided to quit, and where my rationale and mind was at. If you are keen to be a part of this conversation and part of this life update, please do continue watching. And in the meantime, if you're not a part of the squad, please do make sure to click the subscribe button below and yeah, join the family. So if you're not familiar, I studied industrial engineering at the University of Pretoria. And during my final year, I worked with a company. Yeah, we worked together to complete my final research project. And once I had finished that and once I'd finished the year, the company had decided to give me a full-time job as a business analyst and system developer at their company. Now that was really dope. As you can imagine, I have a job, leaving varsity, unemployment won't find me, I don't have to reply to that, what is it? Oh, Ujawa King. Yeah, Ujawa King. I don't have to reply to that tweet and share my scenario. So I got a job straight after varsity, great blessing, and it was quite close to where I was staying, so I could comfortably transition into the working world, or so I thought. And my main responsibilities included developing systems and then building business intelligence tools around those information systems that I created, and then analyzing the data from those BI tools and using that to propel the company in the best way possible. So I would be in conversation with the managers and directors regularly, and I'll just be giving them insight with regards to what is happening on the ground and where exactly the company could improve from a system and data point of view. Because of that, I initially was just working with my line manager, but then because of the complexity of the tools that I was creating, I had to work on the ground with a lot of the sales reps and different people in the company. Long story short, after about 2 to 3 months of being the business analyst and system developer, I became the national sales manager of the company with the CEO, because obviously I had no experience when it came to the company. I just formally gotcha. Secondly, the company is in the medical industry, so you can imagine what am I as an engineer working in the medical space. And then thirdly, I hadn't had any big managerial positions just as yet. So I just got a job. Jiggy, now I'm a manager with the big dogs having to make big decisions. So I became the national sales manager running a team of sales reps nationwide. And I don't know how I landed there, but I was keen for the opportunity because I was just like, whatever happens in the beginning of my professional career, I just want to learn, I just want to absorb as much as I can, because I already had a clear understanding that I was not going to be in that space forever. I'm very passionate about working with people and, using my creative skills, that I knew I wouldn't be in, the 9 to 5 space for long. So I was keen for anything, to be honest. So there I was, after working with the CEO in the position and the director. They then decided to let me do the job all alone as the national sales manager. And I had a really incredible team. There I was, 23, 24, and the rest of my team is 30, 40, 50. So everyone was older than me. Here I am, younger, not knowing what's going on, having a lot of difficult and complex scenarios to fix. But luckily I just pulled through and I did whatever I could do best with the experience that I had. It was very overwhelming, I won't lie. And there were some highs and lows. On the high side, after working with the team for quite some time, I was able to reach the highest number of sales for 2 consecutive months during my time in that position. And also the team just got in a very, happy and better space. On the lows, obviously I had a lot of pressure because I didn't really understand the position that I was in, because obviously I didn't study anything to necessarily do with sales. That ended up really making me feel boxed in, and I didn't know how to speak to people about it, because number one, I don't even know this job that I'm doing daily, but also it's my first time working, and I don't know if what I'm feeling makes sense, if the job is really not meant for me, or if I was the problem. And for most of the time in that position, I leaned more towards the latter, where I kept on fighting with myself and kept on thinking like I was the problem. And I kept on thinking, to solve this outside issue, I had to always fight with what was happening within me. And looking back, I wish I could have trusted my voice earlier. But anyway, in between figuring out this position, I was also focusing on defining full time. So majority of my day looked like work, editing, work, editing, work, filming, editing. And that's what my weeks looked like. I didn't have much of a social life, and I didn't have much of a life in general. I know you're probably thinking, Dennis, why don't you just quit your job? But really, it's not that easy. Number one, I still have bills to pay. And number two, contrary to popular belief, generational wealth and black tax are not in my favor. So really, as I was preparing to leave the job and becoming conscious of the fact that I won't be happy and I don't want to be in that space for a long time, I really had to create a value within the work that I do that would really make me stand out apart from everybody else, irrespective of if they got someone who had the same qualifications as myself, or sounded like myself, or looked like myself. I would still be the right, trustworthy man for that job. So once I had these highs, once Defining reached 25k subscribers as well, 1 million views, I was like, I'm gonna also back the stream as well. And I decided, I'm really unhappy. Defining's doing good, work is doing good, my team's got me, but I'm really not okay. So I decided to take that huge leap of faith, not knowing what's gonna happen moving forward. But because of the dynamic of how I got the job in the first place, instead of just sending an email saying I'm going to resign, I decided to go speak to my director face to face and tell him that I can't do this anymore. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to give you 30 days notice, but I need to take a step back. Having said that, and speaking to my boss was one of the most liberating experiences from 2019, because it was at that moment where I felt like, you know what, I can trust my voice again. And a lot of you definers were there on the channel saying, why aren't you speaking so much, Dennis, on asking for a friend? And I'm just thinking, guys, if you know what's happening in my life, all my life I've been tired. I'm so tired. And here you guys are asking, what's happening? Why aren't I speaking? And really, these were all the things that were happening in my life. And really just speaking up and saying, yo, this doesn't serve me anymore, really helped me gain my power back. And I really want to say, you know, to those of you who didn't necessarily start 2020 on the best note, or who feel like the year's already cancelled, I just want to say to you that that was already in September of 2019. I felt most alive that whole year in September when I took my power back. So I say that to say, at any given moment, you can always hit the refresh button. Just because people are saying it's a new decade, new energy, new month, new anything, trust your eternal clock and believe in your power at any given moment to hit that reset button. So once I had that conversation in September, I took 1 week off to really just gather my mind. I spoke to my family, who was in the greatest, they were literally the greatest support I could ever ask for. My friends were also a great support, and I really love the fact that my parents even said to me, even if you have to, you know, move back home, we'll back your dreams 100%. And that really, really meant a lot. So after the 30 days of that notice, and it was time for me to leave, the company, the team, and multiple people throughout the company just decided they can't let me go. So I, in effect, resigned from the job, but I didn't necessarily resign from the company itself. So now I'm still in a managerial position at the company. I'm still helping them improve a lot of the processes there. But this time around, I'm focusing a lot more on what I actually studied and things that are actually more passionate about, which I'm very grateful for, that the company was like, yo, we still want to keep you, we mess with you. And I really do appreciate that. So I have 2 days off during the week to shoot, to edit, and the rest of the week I'm there doing what needs to get done. If I could go back to the person in this blog post, one thing I would definitely share with that person is Romans 8, verse 31 to 39, the Message translation. And it says, if God didn't hesitate to put everything on the line for us, embracing our condition and exposing himself to the worst by sending his own son, is there anything else he wouldn't gladly and freely do for us? Do you think there's anything that can drive a wedge between us and God's love? There's no way. Not trouble, not hard times, not hatred, not hunger, not homelessness, not bullying, not threats, not backstabbing, not even the worst sins listed in the scripture. So I love that because it's so freeing. Nothing can stop his love for us. Nothing. And the second thing I'd ask that version of Dennis, why are you so scared to become yourself?
Well done, Dennis.
So that was my quick life update with regards to the big shakeup that happened in 2019 on my end, which was really just resigning from my job. I'd really like to know from you guys, what did you think about this, and what has really been your life update? I really love hearing from you guys in the comment section as well, and being able to just reminisce and connect our life updates together. So please do make sure to comment below, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.